First ever podcast, unnamed at the moment.
Yeah.
Don't actually have a name for it. Something we started during the end of COVID, and it was meant to be based around music producers and stuff, and we kind of stopped it. And now we're fucking firing back straight away.
There's words that rhyme with that I was
We're firing back straight away.
That's a good thing.
We got Tom here, and we've got Blake as well. Do you guys want to start by maybe telling yourselves about us? Oh, wait, sorry. Telling
us about yourselves.
That's the one. That's the one.
Telling you boys about us.
Telling yous about us.
Go on, Tom.
I'm Tommy B, Tom Budin. Been producing for a long time. The boys here know me through a few shows that I've played up this way outside of Sydney. I do house music and tech house and do a bunch of other production stuff. And it's been a good journey. So yeah, it's good to finally sit down in a podcast studio and actually like talk about stuff, because there's not much of this stuff going on in Oz at the moment. Hey,
so, don't think so. A majority of it's all the same shit. Like everyone just sinking piss and talking absolute nonsense. But today we're not sinking piss, but we are talking nonsense.
Are we getting serious? Are we?
We're getting real serious.
We're getting deep. I'm Blake. G'day guys.
G'day.
I like to write music. I've been writing music for about 13 years.
13 years.
So it's a long time. Started at 15 and we're doing well now. Finally managed to crack out of the scene recently and get to that international level. So I love writing music. I love doing that. So that's just what I do.
Let's go.
But by the way, this is Blake.08.
Blake.08.
Blake.08. I was going to say your tags, but I didn't want to butcher them. So I just said your first names just in case.
People say Blake.08 and it just doesn't flow well.
Blake.08.
Blake.08. Like the 808 drum machine.
So the international scene you're saying?
Yeah.
Both of the boys are in the international scene a bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's cool.
100%. 100%.
That's awesome. How's it traveling? Like have you done touring yet or?
Not yet. I mean, previously I was in a project called Human Movement, and that was doing pretty well.
Yeah, right.
And we did go over to Croatia for Defected. We did all that.
That would have been sick.
Nah, so he went there with Human Movement, man. It's crazy.
That is sick.
Yeah, we made a bit of a mockery of it. We ended up climbing some electrical tower and getting in heaps of trouble. And
when we're talking about heaps of trouble, are we talking law enforcement coming in and talking in a gibberish language that you don't understand? Or?
Yeah. Well, thankfully not. We would have gotten a lot of trouble if so. Yeah. But essentially like we got a stern talking to. That's okay. And then we ended that relationship. We didn't release more music after that.
Yeah,
but that was an old project. Now we're doing the new project. And as far as international's concerned, we got a few gigs lined up next year overseas.
Sick. That'll be awesome.
Albania.
That is. If someone says, "Oh, you're a DJ, where do you want to go play?" I think the first thing would be Albania. That's very random. How did that come?
Yeah, just a booking. So Anjunadeep. I'm wearing the t-shirt now, but essentially they just throw shows all around the world. And they pick just like hotspots of beautiful places. Yeah. So it's in Tchami, it's like on a beach, and it's called Explorations, and they just throw awesome parties yearly, and people travel from around the world. And
even Blakey, perfect example was Fiji, man. Dude, that was insane. Blakey played on the beach, 12 o'clock, bloody fireworks popping off in the background, dude.
Is that for, I know a couple of people that got sent over for something very similar during...
so it was Your Paradise.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, amazing. So Blakey and I hadn't originally, we hadn't been set up to go on the lineup, but there was a couple of artists who couldn't make it out, and we took over a couple parties, and man, it was just insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Fiji is a pretty gnarly spot to be at. That's cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. There was I think Blake, 3,000 people, 3,500 people, all from everywhere.
Weather good?
Yeah, the weather was good. There was a couple of days where it was shayers. On the good days, it was really good. So generally it rained the whole day, and then the evening times, with the Anjunadeep party, perfect example. It was just clear skies the whole night, just beautiful the whole time, and it was just unbelievable.
It's kind of like Bali, those tropical-esque countries. It'll be pissing down during the day, and then it'll be sunny, and then pissing down. So it's good that you
went to Surveyor, hey. That was one of the most awesome venues I think I've ever seen.
Sick venue. Have you heard of Surveyor?
No.
Have you heard of Surveyor?
No.
It's like this giant cube poolside bar in Bali. You just sit on a cliff.
There's,
oh my God. I saw, I don't even know what I saw. I was on mushrooms when I was there. And I was just feeling the bass like go through my stomach. Like it was like Afro house style music and I was just loving my life. Absolutely loving my life. Like I went to the bathroom and just started pissing myself laughing because they had like this weird texture on all the walls, and I was just laughing to security guards. Like, hey, I'm like, mate, I'm having the best time of my life. This is the best world.
It's Tuesday.
If you guys ever go to Bali, definitely go there because like so many big names, Calvin Harris,
Rufus.
John Summit, like Cream play there a lot. They do their set. Did you either of you maybe seen Cream's sets? You know, guys.
I know the old Cream.
I saw Cream at Tomorrowland this year. The last Tomorrowland.
Fuck, you went to Tomorrowland.
Amazing.
That's mad.
Yeah,
was it good
bro.
fun?
Bro.
It's a dream of mine, eh?
Oh,
that
dude.
and Lost Lands. Lost Lands is a big thing for me.
Dude, camping for 4 days at Tomorrowland, bro, you got to have a strong mind, bro. Strong mind and strong will.
Not a chance I'd
you
make it.
You will not make
I'd
it out of
through.
there, cuz.
Not a chance.
You'll not make it out of Dreamville, bro.
I'd get past the night, like one night, and I think I'd sleep the rest of the time. Hey,
Yeah, I'd probably hit depression like day 2.
Dude, the funniest thing was everyone the whole night, the first night, everyone's like, no, it's all good. Like we gotta stay chilled. This is just the opening party. The opening party stage was bigger than half of the stages, and literally everyone the first day by 6 p.m. the sun was setting, everyone was just mangled. Everyone. Like you just see it's just so funny because like. Yeah, bro, literally, like no one slept the first night, and then the first day, everyone was just fucked.
That's the problem because you go into it with a strong mindset. You say, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm making it through this whole ordeal. Like I'm starting here. I'll save my specials for like day 3 or something.
Yeah.
You hit the feel goods after one beer. You're sitting there, you're listening to bass music. You feel the bass go through, and you go, oh.
Then the whole plan goes downhill.
Look, maybe I'll dabble. I'll dabble.
Day 3 comes around and
5 a.m. sitting in the TP tent with someone you just met on the D floor.
Bro.
Yeah, hating
Telling them
it.
you love them, mate.
you got to do it. You got to do it once or twice, man. You got to do it a few times when you're young.
Yeah,
Once you get older, it's like, you know.
I'd like to say I've learnt my lesson, but I don't think I have.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, look, when we start touring, like the options will come up.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Keep that strong mindset.
Yeah.
trying to be healthy. You know, one beer.
It's hard, but that's the hard thing about DJing. Like say we do parties and stuff or like weddings. Like there's just free piss. So it's hard not to drink. 100%. You know what I mean?
Bro.
And especially when you're playing, like one thing with DJing parties and weddings, like majority of the time you have to take requests, and that's okay. You can take requests, but. You don't enjoy the music, so you're like, "Fuck! What can I do to give me a bit of a pep in my step?" Oh, I'll have a beer.
Then one turns to 10, and then 10 turns to 20, and it's just
So you're doing a bit of touring. What about you? What's coming up with you?
So basically, coming back from Europe, I was a bit uncertain about like how available I was going to be during summer. So at the moment, I'm just kind of on the back burner. I got a gig in Newcastle at King Street coming up.
That's a good venue.
Yeah, so it's been a while since I've been there, but at the moment, I've gone back into planning stages and stuff, getting ready for 24, finishing all the tunes, all that kind of stuff. So
sick.
It's a little bit in the pre-planning stages at the moment with the agency and everything. So yeah, keen to get back into it 24 and hit it hard, you know, because I was away for 20 weeks. So, you know, working overseas and stuff, doing a few gigs in Germany and in Amsterdam for ADE. You know, I've come back with a fresh mind and a fresh face. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Ready to get back into it. And even Blakey as well. Blakey sounds like he's getting a lot planned for 24.
Mate, it's been a long struggle. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to most. If I had kids, like I'd be like, no, just don't do it. Like it's not worth it.
No.
You know, just so many up and downs. You get so angry all the time. It's like, am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? You got brothers and whatnot saying, hey, you're 27 now. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Where's the money?
My uncle yesterday, literally yesterday, he's like, so what the fuck are you doing with your life? I was just like, right, bro, no worries.
To be fair, like, are you signed by Confession, or do you just have a couple of songs signed by them?
Well, so generally I'll try and stay like solo. So I'll just do like a couple tracks here and there with different labels and stuff. But probably next year I'll probably look towards working with solo with a couple labels and trying to build the relationships with those guys.
Because that's a pretty big thing, like to have under your belt. Like I know parents are always looking for that like sense of achievement. Like, oh, someone donated $1,000 on your stream. Oh, there's that like a little bit of confirmation that you're not a loser. But having those songs on those labels, I feel like that's one of those things where your parents or family friends would be like, that is sick.
Well, even at the same time too, like sometimes I explain to people like, oh, I signed to this label and that label, they got no idea. But then the boys know who's like, oh wow, Tchami's label Confession, holy shit. And even with Blake, you know, I've been following Anjuna for years now, man. Like and like it's a dream of so many people, you know, and we're achieving those dreams. And when it comes to parents and gratification and all that kind of stuff, sometimes there's a disconnect between the older generation and the newer guys, and you know, like, what are you actually doing with your time? Like, what are you doing? Just getting pissed every Friday, you know, going DJ weddings and stuff. But then sometimes you're making more money than people making the whole week in one day, you know.
That's it.
And then it's the inconsistencies and consistencies of that, and it's like, can you handle that? You know, can you handle the exposure to the alcohol and to people like, just have a drink, have a shot, you know, because the shot's alwage 2 shots, and then, you know, whatever else happens after that, you know,
the feel goods.
Yeah, 100%.
But you get the aggressive people as well. Like,
Oh,
dude, bro,
Geelong, mate. I was there recently, and I was walking to the bathroom, and there was 4 people trying to start me. And then another group came along and said, "Are you from here?" And hired me out, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, I'm just here to play a set and get out of here." So I spoke to the lead promoter. I was like, "Yeah, mate, we're not sticking around. Get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
Where's Geelong?
It was a good set.
Is that down south?
it's big, isn't it?
It's about an hour away from Melbourne. It's the Wollongong to Sydney. Kind of equivalent.
Is that
and I think the Geelong Cats won. So there's about 400 people waiting in the line.
Fucking hell, Jesus,
And,
Is that a footy team?
Yeah, that's their footy team.
And then
AFL.
I was going to say,
NSL.
that's why everyone's saying, fuck waiting in this line.
Yeah, but that was a good show.
Yeah.
Once I jumped on, it was fine.
Yeah, sick.
Just didn't really want to get in a fight with 4 kids.
Well, that's a
beforehand.
problem. That's a problem these days with like even going out into Sydney or around here or anywhere. It's just fucking people go out to get in a fight. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I've noticed, like, obviously, like back in the day, I've been DJing up the coast. I've been DJing around Australia for so long, and like, there's just the etiquette of people going out these days. Like, people turning 18 and missing going out for 2-3 years during COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
The whole industry, like, not the industry, but
bug on your
the
mind.
punters, huh? Laters.
See ya. Continue.
So like, people just go out now with no etiquette, I feel like, you know, whereas before, like, obviously you had your dickheads or whatever, like, you just kick them out, you know, but everyone just goes out with this ego now, you know. I don't know if it's if it's a generational thing now, or if it's just translated from people couldn't go out for so long, so all they want to do is go out and, you know, socialize, but they're just, you know, getting on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just not on, you know, especially like that kind of ties in as well. I didn't really want to touch on this because it's a bit of a rough subject, but
here we go.
I've actually been assaulted twice in Australia.
Jeez,
so
right.
both times it was pretty late, you know, whatever. I wasn't instigating anything like that, but, you know, people just go so hard, you know. All you have to do is be standing in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
It's happened to me twice, you know. It happened to me in Brizzy and in Adelaide.
Jeez.
And, you know, you know, you're the entertainer for the night, and you're getting smacked in the face or whatever. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Just completely unprovoked by people, you know. And that's just like, it's just an attitude thing, you know. And then it all ties into alcohol. Everyone's like, you know, we've got all these alcohol regulations, everything like that, but it's not affecting like the actual social constructs of like how people are going out now, you know.
Yeah, you got to be picky where you play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And just hide in that back room,
like
that rider.
Here's a little story for you. I played in King Street, Cult nightclub.
Yeah.
So the first night I went there, first ever gig I've had in Sydney, I went there and like I was standing out front of the club and there was a bloke in the building next to the club trying to jump off it with a group of cops out the front. It's like he robbed the place next to it or something. Off its head, that's my first experience in Sydney.
The cross is back, lad.
King Street's pretty.
It's ruthless.
I remember when you told me that. Oh, someone's trying to jump off the roof, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, seriously, bro. There was just a massive group of cops, and this dude standing up there half naked, like about to jump off his bed. I think he robbed like the
sounds
house.
A bit methy. That sounds methy to me,
dude. It was so off its head. And then I went in the club, and I couldn't stop thinking about that the whole night. And I was like this, am I going to get robbed or something? Like it's a sketchy
I don't like
place.
Sydney. Sydney kind of wigs me out a bit. I don't feel very safe.
It depends where you go. Like if you got a good crowd, like a good group of people, it's all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the age, demographic. You know, if you go to the pop club, there's going to be stuff like that happening all the time.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're there with a you know older crowd, older demographic, 25 to 35, you're going to get a bit more peace, a bit more love.
Definitely.
People are going out to see the act.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what's so. I was with a group called Schmear. You know Schmear? In Sydney. Yeah, Schmear and they're legends. But everyone that goes to those events just loves the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're there for the music, not to just go out and muck around with people and like I said, get in fights and stuff. They're just there to go to enjoy the music, have fun, have a drink, and be friends with everyone, you know what I mean? And
that's the crux of it.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. That's honestly how it should be when you go out. You go out to have fun, not to like cause a ruckus. Well, you can cause a ruckus, obviously, but not like, hurt people and all that bullshit. It's the music scene.
My version of causing a ruckus is having a bit too many drinks, and then I was doing somersaults on the dance floor. I was doing like little barrel rolls. I feel like that's acceptable.
Dude, apparently, if I drink too much, I start talking German. Like, apparently, everyone's trying to get a word out of me, and I'm just.
Do you have a German background?
I don't even have a German background or whatever. But people are like, first you start speaking German, and then you just start speaking gibberish, and I'm like, but I don't speak German anyway.
What's the difference, eh? It's gnarly.
But this is the thing. So this all ties in as well. Like Blake teaming up with Anjuna, people go to Anjuna beats to have a good time, have a good day. A lot of people, they don't take drugs. They don't like a lot of the Anjuna guys. They don't like. When I went to Prague, there were people that were just completely sober.
Yeah, right.
There were people that were just there having an amazing time. It was obviously the other side of it. But with those Anjuna deep events and Anjuna events, like people actually know the culture. They know how to act. Whereas like I've had a little bit of trouble myself because I'm just doing sort of my own thing at the moment with house, and when you don't have that strong community as well, like that's when you get the dickheads and stuff who's like, who's this guy? You know, like who's he think he is coming to Newcastle? And so I guess having that community as well really helps to benefit that as well. If you get good people coming to your stuff, Yeah,
it's all for the love of music, like
100%.
That's what it should be at the end of the day.
100%. Dude.
A lot of people like to go out and drink. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, look, like it happens, but we can't be too hard in Sydney. It's getting good. There's a big show at the Ivy that happens every Sunday.
Yeah.
We went to that last weekend. That was amazing. Sammy Virgie.
It wasn't last weekend. It was a couple weekends ago. Sammy
Lost
Virgie.
Sunday.
2 weekends. Oh man, that was actually a vibe because everyone was in a good mood. No one was giving off that I'm better than you vibe. Well, not that I saw anyway. And the crowd reactions were insane. It was so like pure and genuine.
Yeah.
Like when he was dropping like before he even fucking dropped the song, everyone's like, fuck yeah, let's go. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. And everyone's just like, everyone knew the DJ. Even if they didn't, I feel like they would still be having a great time. But it was just I hope you're going down the route of saying this was a good club because I've just said it's like the best place ever.
It's one of the biggest nights in Sydney.
Yeah.
And everyone goes there for the music, and that's just another example.
Yeah.
And they do a Friday night now.
Do they?
Called Club Above.
Yeah,
and
right.
I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah.
But it seems pretty good. You got people like Odd Mob playing and whatnot.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, Ivy's a good spot to hit. Yeah. I think it's improving over time. People are getting a bit less hardcore nowadays anyway. Yeah. So it's good out there. But Geelong, man, I don't know about you guys. You guys are Geelong.
Geelong
you cats are...
I think that's one of the only places I haven't played, like, to be honest, fucking Geelong.
I mean, look, it was great set, great club.
Yeah, but the people.
Yeah. But you can't complain, right?
Yeah.
You got to appreciate. You got to appreciate every show you play.
Yeah, exactly.
They're paying money for you to play.
Yeah, definitely.
You got to be respectful. You can't hate on that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You just got
to deal with it.
What's your dream locations to play?
That's a hard question.
Me,
Norway.
Yeah, Malta, London, like just going all over the place.
Ideally, a specific club though, or a venue. Sorry.
Ooh.
Oh, bro, for me it's Amnesia and Ibiza, bro.
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty.
If I was, I don't produce. I tried, but I gave up pretty quickly. But if I was to DJ somewhere, I think I'd want to play Brooklyn Mirage.
Yeah,
that club looks insane.
Eric Pryder plays there a few times.
Yeah,
huge lasers and whatnot. It's pretty good.
I think it's on a rooftop, but it looks huge.
Can I pick a festival? Or are we just talking about clubs?
Of course.
Lost Lands would be sick. Like I'm really into that stuff. Like Lost Lands, that's a dream of mine to go to. That's like Tomorrowland for you. Like,
yeah. Sure.
Lost Lands are awesome to play at.
The Bush Doofs, they're pretty good.
Yeah, the Bush. Yeah, like Lost Lands.
No, I haven't heard of
Excision, the dubstep.
Yeah, Excision.
So he runs the whole thing.
Excision cards.
The stages are like the dinosaurs either side. Have you seen any of that online?
No, I haven't.
So it's his own.
I just sit at home. I write music. I watch YouTube.
It's Excision's curated festival. It's awesome, dude. It's a giant lineup of just all massive dubstep artists. It's huge.
Synchronized visuals and shit as well.
Yeah, dude,
like
it's
everything,
awesome. Hey,
like
the his
three-dimensional
visuals,
stuff.
His visuals are next to none. I think. Like
Right,
Excision.
yeah.
Well, I went to see him at Touch Base not last year, the year before.
That was wild.
Oh, dude, me and Chris were up the back off our head.
I was sitting on I was sitting on a recycling bin, just watching, just going.
just manging.
Oh, dude, it's a journey. Excision is a journey, man. Even Sudden Death, I saw him last year. He walked out with a severed head and threw it into the crowd.
It looked like, to be fair, it looked like one of those ones you got from a $2 shop.
Yeah, no, it was obviously like, it was a shit one. He obviously went into a $2 shop and bought it, and you just threw it. But like, you know,
Imagine him just walking into a $2 shop just saying, "Yeah, I'll get these things."
with his helmet on. It's like, you know, no, he's cool, but that's my vibe. I love dark bass. Like it's sick.
Yeah, I used to listen to that back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what really like pioneered a bit more love for the electronic music.
Yeah.
Listening like
Right.
Excision and That's Sick.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I used to get bullied in high school for listening to that shit. Like, what is this? Trash.
legacy music. You know, when Skrillex came out with that Scary Monsters and Nice
Yeah,
Brights, and then
dude.
dubstep got big, it was like that was a pioneering kind
Yeah.
of sound. And
Yeah.
I
So
iPod
sick.
Nano sitting there just waiting to get on the bus.
Knife fighting.
Blasting Skrillex ID. You ripped off YouTube at like 96 kilobytes a second. Like, yeah.
Sounds great.
What are your thoughts on? Sorry, Chris.
It's okay.
What are your thoughts on Skrillex's new stuff though?
Don't like it.
You don't like it?
Really? I'm frothing on it.
It's for me, it's a bit hit and miss. There are
Yeah.
some really good ones, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like I don't know, like it's going very like kind of rhythm and blues, hip hop, like which I can I rate it.
Yeah.
But I'm not too much into that sort of sound.
Yeah.
But the sound design itself is just still as full smick as ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
and you can't hate that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I say to everyone. Just compare your mix downs to Skrillex's and you're all good. Use that as an A/B.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like a lot of people won't be releasing their music anymore.
but I will retract that statement.
Yeah.
I reckon some of Skrillex's new stuff, especially with the Fred Again and whatnot, and the Fortet, is pretty banging. There's a couple songs on his newest album that is off the radar.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like better than old Tchami vibes. And it's so heavy as well.
Yeah.
I was
So-
super skeptical when I was going to see Fortet at Listen Out.
Yeah.
Like, because I was watching his sets, I'm like, oh, this is a bit sus. But when I saw him at Listen Out, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like his mixing, he went from like
He's nuts.
chill
he just
tech
wings it.
house all the way to like
He just wings
heavy
his
as
sets.
shit.
I'm pretty
I love
sure.
it.
Like-
He's me.
Yeah, honestly, every time he mixes, I think he just wings it.
Good on
He's
him.
just got like a giant playlist and he plays whatever song. He doesn't plan it or anything.
Well, the thing is,
think.
like, I used to do that,
Yeah.
and then I get in trouble so many times because I played at so many clubs. Like, like everyone just get the shits, you know, if you're not
Yeah.
playing anything consistent.
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
it's like, you know, when you're at that level, then you can play whatever the fuck you
Yeah,
want.
exactly. Just fuck
Fortet's
around, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like I saw him at Lost Paradise, maybe like 5 years back. And he was playing rock, like old school, like 70s rock, like Hendrix, Cream stuff, into his, you know, minimal, house music.
Well, he just started that
insane.
massive trend, bloody, wow, what was it? Nirvana into like rhythm. Do you remember?
country
Oh,
rhythm,
that was
country
so
rhythm.
off. It
Sounds
sounds lit. Dude, if I seen that live, I would have lost my
Played
stuff.
Country Rhythm 3 times.
Three times.
Country rhythm.
What festival was that at?
It
Coachella.
was Coachella. Was it Coachella?
I think
They
so.
closed the whole thing.
Yeah, because someone didn't turn up. That's insane. Did any of you watch that set? Or even just a
Oh,
glimpse at it?
dude.
No,
the
no.
crowd was huge.
Yeah.
Like it must have been, like, because they were in the middle. It was dead set the biggest boiler room of history.
it was
'Cause
nuts.
It must have been at least a football field either side of this like circle dome they were sitting.
I
It
did
was
see that actually.
Crazy.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I probably wouldn't even be able to push play.
The Fred Again shows have been popping off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are insane.
Imagine trying to hear
Selling
that.
out arenas.
Imagine trying to hear the boost speaker and there's fucking speakers at like 360 degrees around you. You're trying to, fuck, I can't mix this
You wouldn't
shit.
be able to use your headphones.
You need noise cancelling headphones, like the ones they use at fucking airports
Yeah,
or something.
definitely.
100%.
110%.
That's something that's quite hard actually when DJ. You need the right headphones.
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
if you get the wrong booth monitors,
So I've just got a pair of IEMs. Have you used IEMs before?
No.
In-ear monitors?
No, I haven't.
So I love them, mate.
Good op.
They are insane.
How do you connect them up?
They're just normal. So they've got the cord and then
It goes through aux.
Laid Back Luke uses them, man.
yeah. So they wrap around your ear. awesome sound, man. Like it's honestly, you put them in and you have one in your ear and you can't. It sounds like you can only just hear the speakers going, but it's still in your ear and you can hear the other side.
I want to try it now.
It's so good.
Have them in the car?
Nah, I should have brought them. But
That's the way
awesome.
forward. That's definitely the way forward.
Yeah, because
and you're sweaty in your headphones. You get your hair tangled if you got long hair.
Dropping your headphones on the floor.
Chucking my head. we go back to back all the time, and putting headphones on after him. Fuck me, I have to wipe it off on my shirt.
Reminds me of the old days.
He gets into it. Yeah, I can't mock you for that.
Nah, it's good fun.
Yeah, me and Eddie back in the human movement days, he had this long luscious hair, right?
Yeah.
So it'd always be fucking tangled, and I'd be spending like a minute like trying to untangle it all, and yeah, it can be hard. I reckon that's the way the future.
You're full shaking. There's like 1,000 people in front of you, like trying to untangle shit.
No shaking anymore. You got to be confident nowadays. Like I guess, like about a couple of years ago, I used to hate playing my own music, and a lot of DJs do the same. They don't like playing their own music.
Yeah.
And then something clicked where I was like, probably not going to make this music again. So I think it's important for others to realize that you got to be proud of your own music and your productions, and be happy to play it.
Definitely.
Because that's what we used to not do.
Yeah.
And if people paying money to see you, they want to hear your music.
Yeah.
So
my recent show, I first time ever, I played a couple of my songs live, and I was so happy with it. I didn't think they would say, because I'm not the best at mastering. I'm terrible at mastering songs. Like I don't know how to do it really. I just put it through a mastering thing online and then just see if it sounds good on speakers and stuff. And then I'm like, okay, sweet.
It works.
And then I played it on a sound system and it sounded mint. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's sick. So now I'm like a bit more confident to play my own music. Like it's good.
It's also especially hard when like you're playing a track and then the track before it's like crunched as loud as it'll go. And then yours is like a bit more dynamic, and then you're like trying to mix it live, and then yours isn't loud enough. That's too loud, and then you're like fucking smack the fader up and just smack one down. You're like, oh,
shambles,
So touching on that. So, what sound programs do you guys use to get your music? Like, do you specifically? What's a better way to word this? What sound programs do you guys use to get your music? And do you get people to send you songs that they've played, like IDs? Like, say, Tchami played something, could you get him to send you that song? Like, how do you guys get the music that you guys play for these professional sets?
I'll let Blakey go first.
All right. I use Ableton. It's the DAW. For those that don't know, digital audio workstation.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, it's the quickest workflow.
Yeah.
So whatever I can get out the fastest is the way to go. Because you've only got 6 hours or 8 hours of that window of creativity before you get tired, before you get over the song. So you really got to smash it out quick. And for me, Ableton's just like quickest workflow. It's got everything. It's good. And touching on the music that we play in sets. For me, it's mostly original, but you do get a good group of mates, or you have a label that you sign to, and they send you all the demos, the unreleased music and stuff like that, and you pick your best. So for me, it's like, maybe 80% my music and 20% my favorites.
Yeah, sick.
Then we go from there.
Yeah, sick.
And, but Ableton for life, I reckon. I don't think I'm going to change.
Are you Ableton or FL?
No, I kind of use everything, but mostly FL.
So I'm FL as well.
I use FL, but I feel like Ableton would be better.
It's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to get stuff out quick, you just throw it out.
If you know FL, like if you used it for ages, then
which I haven't.
Yeah, like I've used it for years and I love it, like because I know how to do it. If you know what I mean. But Ableton's probably like better to.
It's more linear, you know what I mean? It's more set out, like played out. FL, you can just do the dirtiest projects, like literally lay like 50 sounds on different, like on Ableton you got tracks, but on FL you got mixer channels. So like you can just literally have everything everywhere. And then on Ableton,
I think that's what hurts my brain.
Yeah, like on Ableton it's all structured. So like people that come from Ableton and look at FL like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I love it, but
people from FL are like, how the fuck do I apply a fucking send or something? Like it's like, what the fuck is this?
A lot of presets in FL.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to put on a fucking high pass filter. I was sitting there looking at it because I know there's EQ, but I couldn't find like high pass or low pass filter like to bring in a drop or something. And I was just, I get the shits.
Yeah, when you learn
Ableton,
it, it gets better. But touching back to your question as well before we forget, so I use FL. I I use a lot of old plugins, like old proven plugins that I know that I can work with. I probably should use more new ones. I use a few new mastering plugins and stuff, but like, you know, mostly older stuff. Because I find that, I don't know, it just resonates a bit better. It probably doesn't sound like the best, like musically these days compared to like all of the professional plugins now, but you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars like to get a mastering suite now.
So
like,
much money.
You know, like, and for people that don't have that cash, you know, it is very, very difficult. So to move on forward from that though, I don't really get so people per se to like send me unreleased music and stuff like that. Usually what I'll do is I've basically tried to position myself on all the promo like label promos that I possibly can. So I'll have like in-flight promos. I'll have like you know, your army promos and stuff like that too. And generally you're getting kind of the hottest music always a week before everyone else.
Yeah,
so
right.
when I have
Can
podcast
you
mixes,
explain what that is? Sorry,
so basically it's just like if you're connected with a few labels and stuff like that, generally what will happen is if you're chatting and stuff, sending demos and stuff, they'll usually ask you to add you to a promo playlist,
Okay.
Or promo playlist, a promo email list, and basically like you've got, so In-Flight for example it's basically like it's a promotional platform. So like you go in there, you get a free track, but you give a review, you rate the track, you say if you're going to play it at a certain time of the night, and then that feedback gets submitted to the DJs.
Yeah,
so basically instead of paying $3 a track, you know, you can get your promotional tracks and stuff like that. But for most people just go to Beatport, you know, and but it gets so expensive, you know, because if you're doing 20, 30 tracks at $30, you spend 100, 150 bucks.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
easily in one day, you know, and some people can't even spare like that much cash, you know, especially like if everything's expensive as fuck now, especially in Sydney. But you know, I find Blake would probably agree. Track Source is a really, really good one, man, because it's not biased. So Beatport is biased to however many people. So if you get 30 people to download your track, chances are that you'll probably get close to the number one spot. Whereas Track Source, it's very organic and it's very real. Like, so you don't just have random songs that aren't like really that good, but if they're being downloaded a lot of times, you have like genuine like supports and stuff like that from Track Source and stuff.
Yeah, sick.
But I guess from everywhere, you really got to get your music, you know, because saving, you know, $2 or $3 a track, it adds up over time, you know, it can add up to 50, 100, 150 bucks, like, you know, so easily. But I do hit up the boys, you know, like Odd Mob and you know, a few of those guys, you know, I do sneak the old email in, you know. Like,
he's a legend, dude.
Send him over.
I like Oddie.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
But generally the promotional catalogs and stuff like that will give you that, your sort of first raps. But generally what will be is like no airplay, can't play it on the radio, can't do this, can't do that until it's out.
Yeah.
So you have strict rules that you have to adhere by and whatever, because people get the shits. Like if you just like send it, and, you know, basically.
If any music sources want to sponsor this podcast, now's your time.
Yeah.
Nice and fresh.
No, that's awesome. I have a question with your doors and stuff. Do you guys use any like equipment, like not the actual like plugins? Like,
I got a lot to say about this.
Yeah, Blakey.
Do you? Yeah.
So I reckon it slows the process down. I reckon it definitely slows it down.
Yep.
The main issue is like if you're playing and tinkering with synths, it's gonna stop that workflow.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look, everyone has their own way of doing it.
Yeah.
But for me, if I had a bunch of synths around, I'd be spending way too much time designing the sounds.
Yeah, definitely.
Recording the sounds and all of that.
Yeah.
Rather than just sculpting it out.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to go is just simply get those ideas out.
Yep.
Find that sound that you want.
Yep.
Have it in your head beforehand.
Yeah.
And then just execute it.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
fast as possible.
Yeah.
That's what creates the original sort of sound. But I see a lot of people investing in like synths and drum
It's like
machines.
Deadmau5. Have you seen Deadmau5's house?
We're talking we're not just
modular synths.
not even a few $100,
crazy,
like
dude.
thousands and thousands of dollars, man. Like it costs so much money, dude.
But even Steve Duda, he said in the podcast, the thing about Deadmau5 is that he envisions what the sound's going to be like before he does it. So he just flies through samples.
It's so
the
sick,
kick, like 100 times over.
It's so crazy.
And he'll find that one kick, you know, after scrolling through like 100 miles an hour. And then he'll know that's the kick he wants.
Yeah.
So I think the pace is more important for me at least than the equipment or...
Yeah, definitely.
Well, as well, like that time's precious as well. If you're working a job during the week, you're doing stuff, you only have a certain window that you can make a track, you know, and the faster you can kind of get the idea, even just fleshed out enough for it to be an idea, you know, the easier it will be, obviously, to go back a few days later, a week later or whatever, and kind of tee it up and get back into it again. But I guess I can add to this a little bit too. I think I agree with Blake for sure. You got to like shorten. You got to make it as easy as possible. So like I have like templates set up on my stuff. I was talking to Blake about this before. I have templates on FL Studio with everything that's set up in sends and all that kind of stuff. Because it takes ages to do that. You know, you're spending 20 minutes, half an hour fucking around with that shit.
Yeah.
But then as well, like with synths and stuff, I feel like you got to have a dedicated synth space. Like because if you're setting up and packing down every time, like haven't got enough space on your table or whatever, and you're like pushing your keyboard to the side and like fucking around, plugging shit in, unplugging shit. You're spending a lot of time fucking around and then you're getting volume leveling. Whereas you just set that up and just have it all as like one sort of streamlined thing. Then all you have to do is just plug, like for example, like an audio interface into the input of your main audio interface. You can save a lot of time and a lot of headaches because then as well, if things aren't set up correctly or whatever, and then you're like standing there like, what the fuck's going on? There's no MIDI output, there's no MIDI input, you know, and you're like fucking around with that, you know? So I guess like, he uses heaps of stuff outside the door, but you've generally curated that stuff and then you work on it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I just fly through samples. Use a few like virtual synths.
Yep.
But you know, it's not really about the setup. It's about just getting out there and doing it. Yeah. Even if you're using iPhone headphones, it doesn't matter. It's just about doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and that'd be the message I'd give out to people. It's just like, just do it.
Rip in.
Do you just have the same problem as me? Like you have probably 1,000 songs sitting there that you've just like you've sat there, made it, and you're like, okay, nah, sweet, start a new one. It just keeps starting new songs. Like
story of my life.
Dude,
it's terrible. Or like, dude, I got tracks that I'm like really happy with, really proud of, and then like sent it to a bunch of labels, and everyone's like, it's not what we're really looking for and whatever. I'm like, what are you looking for? And why does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you know, I want to associate myself with your brand and stuff. And that's why, like, I guess with Blake, it works because you're doing that sound. You've got that dedicated sound. You've got the dedicated community, everything like that. You know, you have that support. Whereas if you're working with individual labels and stuff like me, you don't have that support. Yeah, you've just got someone at the end of the day going like, it doesn't really, you know, whatever. It doesn't work with us. So what, you know, whatever. We like the track, but it's not what we're looking for right now. Is
that's
like
shit. That
number one. But that's what makes the tracks add up and add up and add up as well, because they're not bad songs.
Yeah.
But then it's like, do I run the risk of releasing it myself and getting 20 plays on Spotify or something if I don't put $2,000-$3,000 of promotion into it? Because this is how it is now, you know.
Before TikTok and stuff as well. Like a lot of people younger, sorry to interrupt.
No, dude.
Smaller artists have been like posting little clips on TikTok and they'll say, POV, you've just made the best song ever. And then like they'll play it and it explodes. Like it gets so many likes and views. And then the thing is they'll release it like that. Yeah. They'll just drop it the next week once they get that little bit of hype. But other artists like yourself have to go through that process of getting approval, all 100%. This stuff, signing, blah, blah, blah.
And like sometimes it takes 6 months.
Yeah. Like that Dom Dollar Rhymes song, Rhyme Dust, that took like a year and a half to get signed off because of all the rights. So I couldn't imagine what it'd be like for trying to make thousands of songs over time.
And Dom as well is already working closely with those labels too, remember, as well. So like that's not even like
it wasn't
approval
like
or disapproval. That's like it's
it.
Approved and then it's released. And you went through that as well with getting some sampling what is it, not verified, but like approved for copyright. You know?
Yeah, look, you gotta respect the original artists. Like if you're using their master audio and you are monetizing your music, you know, you can't really steal and pick and steal. Yeah. But so you can cover songs. That's a pretty popular thing. But on the TikTok tip, it's actually it's a good marketing technique. It's blowing up a lot of artists.
Yeah, and it's very organic too.
Very organic. They'll share the sound with their TikToks and. You know, there's a lot of plays like that. I know like Lude Down Under. It's like that drum and bass song. Yeah. Got huge from TikTok.
Yeah, because girls just doing that dance.
Yeah. So many girls doing that dance.
It worked.
It worked, man. It worked. It was a great video, great play.
Yeah. And a lot of people pay these artists, not artists, TikTokers, to promote the artist songs. So if they've got like 1 million followers, all they got to do is start some trend and bang.
Yeah. Good little playbook.
It's all algorithms, but hey, like if the algorithm isn't with you,
I'll see you in the bottom.
What I've realized actually,
that's a false.
What I've actually realized is that I used to think that. But what I've realized is not, you can't hack the algorithm per se, but the consistency and the engagement of what you release will drive your algorithm. So as long as you can most of your videos probably will not get successful, but there'll be one that will get extremely successful and it'll be so random. It may not even be your best work or whatever. That's why I look as like the algorithm works for you and against you in some cases, you know?
Yeah. But I don't agree with that. I reckon that's it's an easy way out. If you get a big hit, it's good that you got a big hit, but the longevity is important. If you're calling yourself an artist, and like, I don't know, I guess I'm a purist of an artist, but you know, if you're making music, you really got to make your own music. You know, you don't want to be trending. You don't want to be like some one-hit wonder. You don't want to sound like someone else. And like, obviously you do when you start off, but once you have the experience, once you're at that upper level, it's like you really want to create your own sound and get a real set of fans that really care about you.
Yeah, well, that's what I at the moment, I just release music because I love making music and I love the music, you know what I mean? I don't really care if I don't get any views or anything at the moment. Like, it'd be good, but like, I'll work my way up to that. I just 100%. Make music because I like the music I make. Like, I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I love the sounds that I make, and like, I'll release it. I don't care if it, like, I get 3 views, couple likes, like, cool. Like, at least those 3 people listen to it, you know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly how I feel. 100%.
And this is the problem, like, you know, you're getting a lot of people that are getting into writing music for the wrong reasons. Like, they'll go to the club like once they're 18 or 19 and they'll think it's cool. So then they'll write it.
And it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to get so famous from this. They don't give a fuck about the songs that they make. They're just like, oh, I'm going to get famous from this. Like, it's ridiculous.
It might drive them, but it's probably not the best intention. You know, you got to really love it. You got to be a bit of a weirdo to be obsessed with writing music.
Definitely.
But you know, like, you got to have the right intentions. Like, I think, I don't know when Tom started producing music, but I started when I was 15, so I didn't know what a club was. So it's just that intention. You got to do it for the love of it.
Yeah, exactly.
First and foremost. Otherwise, you know, where are you going to go? You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I've only been doing it, 2 years now? I'm producing 2 years, I think.
Give or take.
Yeah, 2 years.
Damn, so I haven't seen you for that long. Holy shit.
It's been a while, bro.
It's been a long time.
Woody's, bro, that club's... You
heard about that. Actually, okay. I've got a bit of a controversial thing to talk about. And this is just me personally because I don't make music and I want everyone's opinions on it.
Okay.
So I love playing to people. I love playing like my little house sets and stuff. I really I want to like be on those other lineups. And I used to be there and for some reason I've fallen off. I don't know who I've pissed off, but I've pissed off someone. But they're saying that it's really hard to start playing if you don't make your own music, but all these other people aren't making their music either. So do you have any tips to people that are new to the scene who don't necessarily have the time or want to produce to try and get on these lineups and be with the people they enjoy watching?
It's an interesting question, to be honest. Like, it's so hard nowadays, man. There's just so many people doing it. Like, how do you differentiate yourself? You know,
go out. Go out to the clubs and literally meet the people. And promote for the organisers. That's what'll get you the sets
for sure.
Don't just act like you're gonna rock up and come in and then, you know, play your sets and then leave. If you're just starting as a DJ, you got to be committed to them.
Definitely.
It's a money making thing for the promoters. It's a dog eat dog world.
I think that's my problem because there's so many like different little events that I want to like dabble in that I just can't really be bothered promoting for all these different things. I rather stick to one sort of thing. So it does make sense. Like the person I talked to try and get on the lineup, who's like, have you been to any of our shows? I'm like, no, I don't have time.
Exactly.
100%. And people get like a little bit sort of like iffy about that, you know, because it's like, oh, if you're not going to bother supporting our event, why should we bother supporting you? Which kind of makes sense. But I guess, that's where it comes in. You really got to put some effort in.
For sure.
But then it's hard if you literally haven't got time because every single Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're doing weddings. You know, it's like, fuck, like it's hard,
it's
you know?
consuming,
Like, but I guess like, you know, it's the consistency of it really, I think that affects it as well, you know, staying consistent, staying in the industry, keeping doing what you're doing, you know, that kind of stuff. For Blake and I guess it's a little bit easier now because we're both more established and we're both going on to that next stage of the career, you know. So and we have that music to drive that as well, but even still, you know, like it's really hard, you know, because if you go to a certain venue and you're playing stuff that people don't necessarily like or dislike, or, you know, you're Blakey in Geelong playing breakbeat music from Anjunadeep, which they've never heard of in their life, then they'll be trying to arc up you on the door, you know, like
they were like once I got on, there was peace. But a bit of unity.
Like even whenever I play, where is it? Whenever I play at I can't remember the name of the venue. is it Finnegan's in Newcastle? Finnegan's?
Yes, I think it is
Oh,
Finnegan's.
it's closed now, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So whenever I play there, I just have people like, can you play Usher and Rihanna? I was like, I don't even have Usher or Rihanna on my USB. Like, but can you play it? I'll plug my phone in. And I'm like,
man.
nah.
Yeah, it's
Rough. Just touching on that though, I did have a thought, like when that person did say, like, have you been to my events? I was like, okay, so I'm not offering them anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to the table and maybe say, look, I film sets. I like filming sets. I'll film like your event. Just chuck me on the lineup. I don't care about the money. So I think if you can offer the other person something, not necessarily offer, but
We'll negotiate.
give value sort of thing.
Yeah, give value as well, for sure.
Show respect to them.
There is a fair few places that have their own little cliques though. Like,
That's what I mean.
There
It's hard to like
and
get into that.
sucks. That honestly sucks. And some of the promoters won't even bother like trying to find new people. They're just like, okay, sweet, we're just gonna put the exact same people on the whole time.
Well,
like,
that's what's really interesting. So, like, per se, like, this is kind of like with a grain of salt, but like, I've always tried to sort of keep the music sounding fresh. I don't have tracks that sound distinctly like one another. You know, I try and keep it sort of how I'm feeling at the time and stuff. Whereas Blake's got a really good theme. He's got a really good marketing like theme as well.
Yep.
Whereas I've stayed very like, not artistic with it, but like just kind of doing my own thing with it.
Yep.
But as I'm getting further into my career, I'm realizing more that I have to now really distinguish myself and as well like hone in on that exact sound that I'm looking for.
Yep.
Because that's what people will remember, and that's what those little clicks and stuff will hire you for. Because if you're just a nobody that plays the same thing as everyone else, just rip off Dom Dollar sets, then the promoters will probably try and find someone who's a bit more, you know, for example, like Blake, like trying to do something slightly different. You know, it might not necessarily be everyone's cup of tea, and you know, it's definitely hard. It's definitely hard.
There's
for
so
sure.
many people getting into the scene now though, like in Australia with your shot and stuff.
Even just randoms like from high school, you're like, they're like become a DJ at your shot, and you're like, oh, nice.
Your shot is crazy.
Can't
There's
mock them for trying.
people.
Like everyone starts.
100%.
Yeah.
100% too. But it's like
good.
same people that would bully me in high school for making like dubstep and stuff. You know, like it's funny.
It's like me at school. It was like I used to smoke weed. Everyone used to judge me for it, and then everyone started smoking weed.
And now you don't even touch the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's just a example of electronic music being the biggest thing in Oz right now.
Yeah.
If not the world. I mean, like amongst the young crowds, like there's no Metallica right now to fill the void. It's all electronic music. Like Fred Again's like the
What's
the
interesting? What's interesting too is I've noticed like a lot of people who were distinctly only like electronic house and all that kind of stuff have gone with live elements now. I'm seeing like a lot more live element stuff, and I'm seeing that's driving a lot of the
like Fred Again kind of stuff.
Yeah, like I guess like he's a pretty extreme example, but like, you know, you got a lot more like people trying to engage in their music live and stuff like that, which works especially like for events like, you know, I guess like Lost Paradise, you know, all that kind of stuff, because people can really get into the like the feeling of it, you know, whereas it's instead of you just playing tracks and whatever, which is sick as well. Like if you play a good, nothing better than a good, perfectly curated set, you know. When I saw Jody Wisternoff's set at Fiji, it was just so perfectly curated.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got your Ben Boma, for example, who it's perfectly curated, but it's live as well, and you get that whole live element to it, and it makes you almost want to cry, bro. Like it's
What's
so
That Not? Did he do a live event recently? I think
I'm not sure, to be honest.
it was in Sydney. I'm pretty sure he did a live thing. He was like, it's hard to explain. He was like doing
Rufus is Solar Kings of Live.
they're cool.
Rufus absolutely killed it, but they were doing that 10 years ago. You know, they smashed it.
Killing it for a while, man.
Yeah.
But also those guys are extremely good musicians.
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of people aren't the best musicians, you know, so you put so much pressure on yourself to do that.
Yeah.
But if you can achieve it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, some of their sets are so cool, hey. Like the one where they had like the lights set up in the desert or something. Is that Joshua Tree? That was so sick.
I saw Rufus to Soul in 2017 at EDC, and it was a 360-degree stage. So there was basically a stage in the middle, and then all these fake stages in like a circle around you.
Yeah,
there was like 20,000 people there, bro. It was insane, bro. Like because you couldn't tell which stage was which, you know. And may or may not have been on some questionable things. But
Performance enhancers.
like, I was like, where am I, dude? Like, how do I leave? Like, what
You know what would be like that? You know the dome or the Safari?
yeah, bro.
Dude,
Apparently they're
that
taking the
looks
UFC there.
crazy, man.
That'd be crazy.
Like I seen a video of it the other day, and like it opens up from the ceiling, and it just turns into a desert, like some like mystical like other planet. It's off its head, man. I'd love to play there. That'd be cool. That'd probably be my dream set place. I think I'll take back what I said
Well,
before.
dude, I'm actually thinking about that now. Yeah, dude.
Where's that in?
That's in
Las
Vegas.
Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
Yeah.
That's
Have you seen
pretty
it? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I just didn't know where it was.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Hey.
I think I recall seeing a video like Elon Musk dancing to Rufus.
Oh
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently he makes electronic music too.
Oh, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Send him a tweet or something.
Makes me his Teslas.
He's also a fighter.
He's a fighter.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was going to fight
Zuckerberg.
Zaki, but Zach pulled out.
Oh,
Apparently,
no.
according to him on the Joe Rogan podcast.
That's funny.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, but that was funny to see him dancing to it.
Yeah.
100%. It's cool when you see stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, boys, I got a question. So, would you rather play at Red Rock or would you rather play in the Dome?
Red Rock.
Yeah, you reckon?
Red Rocks would be sick.
Imagine excision in the Dome.
Nah, yeah. Imagine sudden death in the Dome. Oh my days, bro. You just turn it into hell.
Dude,
like.
I would need like
Hell in a cell in the Dome.
That's it, bro. That's crazy.
a lock-in session, but in the dome.
imagine-
Doors closed.
imagine
No
tripping.
one has to stay in
No
there.
bathroom.
Bring your
deal with
swags in.
Like if I was tripping in the Dome, I couldn't deal with it. I think like
Nah, you need to get out at some points,
you
bro.
would be able to like.
Yeah. Nah,
you just be
for sure.
sitting there
Just
going,
need to go outside,
"What the fuck?" Yeah, just take a deep breath. eh?
Relax.
Bro,
Relax a little
I'd try
bit.
walk like. Say if they had the desert thing, I'd try walk like and just keep
Oh, dude,
walking, and I'd walk.
that's what
into
I
the
do, man.
fucking
Apparently,
wall.
when I get too lit, apparently I just disappear. Like, come back like 3 hours later. Like, what's going on, boys?
I wouldn't mind only playing, not staying at Burning.
Yeah, Burning Man, jeez.
I don't reckon I could do Burning Man.
Nah, it's gnarly, eh?
Why?
Oh, because like,
Like, do you when you say
After
do,
seeing
do you
this
mean like
year-
actually stay?
After seeing what happened this year at Burning Man,
Oh, the
like
flood
with
stuff.
with the bloody lithium water that like burns your skin as
Yeah.
it gets wet and stuff, because it's on a salt flat and there's it's high in minerals and
red
shit. So like
that's crazy.
the potential of that happening, people couldn't leave for another week afterwards because their vans and stuff would get stuck in the sand, and like, you know, you're running out of food, you're running out of water and stuff. Fair enough, yeah. But then when you look at like the reality of like actually going there, like, and the cost of what it's going to cost, and you got to hire a van, like all this stuff, it really, like, I don't know, it's just not what I'd want to have to deal with going to like a musical event.
Yeah.
Although it looks amazing and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
unbelievable, and the vibe looks like full PLUR, like typical American plur, like, you know, but in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, oh, kind of, what do you want to expose yourself to, you know, as well? And like the dust and like the dirt in your eyes, and like, bro, all your clothes will get destroyed. You have to throw it all.
They have like orgy tents there and stuff.
Yeah, fully.
That's what I heard.
do, dude.
I guess I'm a bit of a dramatic dude about it, but yeah, like I'd love to go, but I reckon probably just once, you know,
Yeah,
like,
just experience it, eh?
you know, and just hope there's no monsoons going on again, you know.
I'd go, man. You go
Yeah.
and check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Give it a
Yeah.
go. Like 1 week.
Yeah.
Just don't overheat your body. You're right.
What type
In that
of
orgy tent. You know?
You've got obviously a very different style of music compared to say us. You how do you explain your type of music? Like it's breakbeaty kind of
breakbeat
like
sick.
where's
Gran
your
Turismo
inspiration?
music, bro.
Yeah, where's your inspiration come for that stuff?
Man. I guess like I don't really listen to relevant artists anymore. So like as bad as that sounds, I'm not really listening to what's hot.
Yep.
So all the inspiration came from, you know, like your Dead Mouses, your
Yeah, yeah.
Skrillexes doing Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites, your Flux Pavilions, you know,
Love Flux.
all of those big kind of legacy artists that kind of created it all. Also like Above and Beyond, like the Essential Mixes, like all of that sort of stuff that I
Yeah,
used to
dude.
listen to as a kid. I've just like kept that in my head somehow. And I don't know if it's like being an ego or a perfectionist or whatever, but it's, yeah, just working at it, not caring about what's going on,
Yep.
and having the belief that the sound's going to be good.
Yep.
I think that's the only way you're going to get an original sound,
Yep.
is not trying to copy other people.
I'm very
Yeah,
interested to
definitely.
see what you play in the next half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm very
I'm
excited.
I'm very keen to play.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I brought Blake down here. I can't even speak. Break down here. That's why I
Like
brought
the breaks.
Blake down here.
That's why I brought Blake down here.
Because That's why. That's oh god.
That's why I brought Blake down here.
That's why I brought Blake down here.
Just to play
Oh
a
my
set.
god, that's fucking nuts. I brought him down because I knew that he's going to play something different to what you guys have probably ever heard. To be honest, you guys do a lot of these kind of gigs up here, and what he plays is just not sort of like. It's hard to explain because it's not bad music. It's like it's just so different to like what anyone would listen to in the Sunny Coast.
Yeah,
you know, and even in Sydney, really. But then you got your events and stuff like that. But no, I think he's gonna kill it. I'm just gonna be playing the general Tommy B set. But
100%.
But you know that's what works for me, and that's what works for the brand, and that's what drives the cash flow for Tommy B. And you know, I do this full time as well. You know, so. You know, sometimes you have to make a little sacrifice, you know, whether it's a bit more commercial or not. But Blake's doing a good thing with his music, you know, and I think he's on a very good trajectory with his associations and everything like that too. So
I've always told Tommy to just take the vocals out. It's just simple. He's so good at he's so good at mixing and mastering. Yeah. And he's such a good, brilliant producer. I just tell him take the fucking vocals out. You don't need him in. The track's brilliant.
But that's the thing, like you boys will know, like the shows that we always are surrounded by. If you're not playing vocal shit, people they just walk off or they'll leave. You know, like that's the thing.
I want to sing along to something.
So that's why I like I'll just be smashing Eminem, like just queuing Eminem vocals over the top of everything if it's a track without vocals. But it sucks that I've got to do that. But that's why I'm trying to lean more into a certain sound 2024, and hopefully that will be a bit easier, you know, because people know exactly what they'll be expecting. You know, like I've been booked for like Sunny Coast gigs and stuff like that, and like being expected to play like Melbourne Bounce and like and Big Room and stuff, like, you know, because I used to be signed to Lucky, so I get the association like Lucky Entertainment. This dude's probably like Zach Waters or you know what I mean, up and comer. Will Sparks, exactly. So so then when I rock up and start playing house music, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You know, so yeah, it's definitely.
Will Sparks is jacked, man. Have you seen him lately?
He's
huge. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I filmed him at Woody's when he was I wouldn't say first popping off, but like when he was 2016, 17. I was sitting there and I took like a little photo of him and he looked at me. I'm like, oh, fuck, sorry. But that was crazy. Like down at Woodport, I mean, down in the dungeon. We're not saying names here. I'm going to bleep that out.
Down in the dungeon.
It was just a sweat fest. Like everyone was pumping and he had doing these ones, just going. It was crazy. He knows how to put on a bit of a show.
Well, what's interesting? I'm pretty sure I was there. I'm pretty sure I was opening, or it was either that or it was like very very early, like Slice and Dice and Mashed and Kutcher days. I used to go to the board.
Mashed and Kutcher.
But then that was the thing that was about my sound. It was like I'd be put on like the earliest set. And like you boys know the quality of my music and stuff like that, and like copping it so hard because then like no one's even there by the time I finish DJing, and then like everyone comes in for the Will Sparks, like, you know, you got three sounds, three samples going on at the same time. You know,
I don't mind opening. I almost like opening because you can set the mood, but I don't like opening to an empty room. If we're on a rooftop bar, there's say 10 people getting cocktails and stuff, I froth on that. I like bringing out the mood. Like I'll start with some funky disco house and then I'll slowly bring it up. And you'll just see someone like just bobbing their head or something and you're like, yeah, all right, here we go. And then the next person next to them will start going, like I like that feeling of bringing out the room, but playing to an empty room is totally different. Like that's just depressing, but it's like 10 people just enjoying, having a nice time, happy with that.
I love the opening set.
Yeah.
Like I don't usually play it anymore. But like back in the day, an opening set, especially when people are trickling in, it's a good way to test yourself. It's a good challenge. For sure. And you get to bring that people in. Like you said, you're kind of changing that vibe of that room. Yeah. So it's a good challenge, man. I reckon it's important for everyone to open and learn how to open.
I love opening. I love it.
It's good.
It's different.
Start at like a 120 and just slowly bring it up. And then there's that one song where the bass hits a little bit harder.
It's different when the whole club's dead the whole night.
You got a bit of freedom to
that up and leave for
that's what you should think of.
Couple of months.
But I guess it's
couple of headliners that no one on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Can happen.
What's funny is like I don't hate the opening set, but the thing is like when you have a lot of material you want to show people and you're very happy with, and you know, like I've been producing for so long. You know, when you have that and you want the opportunity to be able to connect with people and you don't get that opportunity, fair enough, you're getting paid whatever, but still, like, you know, when you miss that connect, like, I don't know, it's like the Will Sparks is like he didn't have to play anything that wasn't his own music and everyone would love it, you know. You got to spend so long building up that part of your brand, you know, and that cult following, you know. But that's the thing, obviously. Playing to an empty room, fair enough. But even I like doing the opening sets too. I even like the chill sets, you know, like beachy kind of sets and stuff, because then I can do it something a little bit different. As you said, ease them in. You know, I've got a lot of chilled music as well that I can never play because I'm always playing sort of headliner sets and stuff. So it's good for me as well. But yeah, I guess it sort of all comes down to
you
execution.
just sparked my memory on something as well. Like another thing with trying to get these gigs is that they're looking for people to bring people in.
Of course.
No one gives a fuck about me and Nick. We're 25. We're halfway to 50.
Well, generally,
we don't have a bunch of 18-year-olds running behind us. But these new ones have 18-year-olds just flocking in.
What I've realized is like no one really gives a fuck in general, and that's what makes it hard.
They do. I'm going to disagree with you completely, Thomas Budin.
No.
I reckon like from 18 to 21, that's the glory year.
Yeah,
like
100%.
when you're DJing, then you've got 100 people that you can bring to that club.
Yeah.
So 18 to 25-year-olds, just use that wisely. Because you can bring in so many people. And you're the cool one at school. Everyone wants to party. Everyone wants to go out. And if you have like a DJ project, you have like a music project, you're going to get people in the door.
Yeah, definitely.
Back in the day when we were doing it, we were selling out, you know, venues because we were so young, and people were waiting at the door in opening. The doors open, and you had a line. And it was like,
someone's in line.
No, not that type of line. But I would say if you're 18 and DJ, this is your glory time. Go for it. Send it.
Smash it out.
So now we're at this age. I've just made my new artist name and a new account, and I'm just trying to get that's my new stuff. But like, I'm trying to find a following, and it's hard at this age. You know what I mean?
Very hard, man.
Because what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just going into the big artist pages and trying to follow people that like the actual music that I'm making, like dubstep and stuff.
And that's actually a really good technique as well.
So I just follow people that are following my favorite artists, and they'll follow me back, and it's been working for the rest, like the last week. So and now I've got people that actually like my music on like following me. So I know I just came up with that tactic.
Yeah, your new account's going well. I'll give you that. I was very surprised to see the views on your reels, even though it's only like 600-700. But before it was 600. Same thing with YouTube. Like I just re-uploaded one of my sets, and I did some SEO on it and hashtags and stuff. And now like my YouTube videos get 50 views, nothing. And then this one got 3.5K, still going up, over 100 likes. Like 15 comments, and that's what sparked
like
this interest.
Algorithms we were just talking about before.
That's what sparked the interest to start this back up again. And I'm so glad to have you guys on to the first podcast to be a guest and doing a set in here. It's going to be cool to hopefully get this going, get a bit of a community going.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. Glad to be here.
Needs to happen.
Let's go.
Get the community happening. What's on this thing?
Yeah, what are you?
What is it? The gay community music industry. No, let's not talk about that. That's just a no-go. Does music evolve or move in circles over time? That's a good one. Yeah, we all know it's a bit of a phase. You know.
What about rise of DIY culture and independence, which is exactly what we're doing right now?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. Has to be a good thing.
People doing bush tours.
Is that like
I think you're talking about like bush tours kind of sort of thing, or is it? What do you mean?
Well, I guess everything, man. Like, you know, creating like content to connect with people, doing your own events, like exactly like trying to build relationships with people and stuff like that, and you know, creating communities and all that kind of stuff. I guess it can kind of be like everything, really. Like, for example, us boys, you know, we're DIYing now. You know, we got this podcast going. You know, this is my first opportunity to actually speak about music that I've had in a long time. You know,
and you're on the #1 podcast in Australia right now.
This will be the #1 podcast.
I think compared to not throwing shade at anyone else, but I think the production value here is pretty on point for.
It's sick.
It's spicy, boys.
Warm fireplace in the background, mate.
Warm fireplace.
That's good.
Aircon. Let's go.
Yeah, bro.
But I'm very happy that you guys have come on.
But
I don't think I'm ready to end the conversation just yet.
No.
You guys good?
We'll keep going.
Yeah,
do you need a break or anything like that?
Nah, we're sweet.
Before we stop
talking,
I'm just going to check the cameras.
Yeah, sweet. I'm actually curious about this. Where is music headed in 2024? Where do you think it's going to go? Like, do you reckon it's going to go the electronic road, or are we going to go back to bands? Because I've noticed, I've noticed the bands. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big thing now. Again,
it is. It is. Especially with those indie events, indie labels, indie events, Triple J culture, everything like that. It all ties in. But I reckon like what I've noticed is tempo. Tempo is increasing dramatically. Like people are becoming less relaxed. They're becoming more like, you know,
100%.
But also, like, you know, I feel like, music it travels in stages, you know, and like I feel like, you know, there's always like a 10-year sort of cycle of what's in and out, and people, you know, obviously everyone's always listening to different things at different times, but people go through different emotional journeys and different times of their life, especially as they get older. And you know, I feel like I've noticed particularly, I can't say for sure if it's going to happen or not, but like high tempo music is definitely taking over.
Yeah, well, techno at the moment's huge.
Techno's gone from like, you know, we're like 138, like, you know, like you'd go hard techno to be 138. Now it's like 155.
160,
like,
bro. I've got some songs on there that are 160.
The 300 BPM ones are disgusting.
Gabacore.
Oh, dude, it's so gross. Like how it's literally just like, it sounds like one note.
What's that text? What's his name? He's a hardstyle artist. He's just like a cowboy dude.
Oh,
that's
Little
what I'm
Mix.
talking about.
Little Text.
Dude, what the action? It's not
Text.
even music, bro.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm
It's like
talking about.
700 BPM.
People are sitting there going,
Little Text. Yeah, it's like,
and he's just up there going, his shirt off.
It sounds like a
no
seizure.
sound, bro. Like,
my heart would stop during
like
that
you were
set.
mentioning the BPM, the tempo going
Yeah.
up. That's out of the ballpark.
well, it's kind of an interesting one, but at the same time, I've also noticed like live music and more humanistic elements is coming back, and it's coming back with a vengeance, because when I think about it, you know, we had like, you know, 2014, 2015, like Will Sparks' Big Room era, that lingered on till like 2019, 2020. It's coming back now again, but then I'm realizing like people never really no one really went out to see bands. No one really sort of, that all dropped out unless you had your indies, you know, who really, really love their stuff, you know, all the top 100 people and stuff, you know, people would actively seek that out, but now it's kind of coming back into the mainstream again, and people are, obviously they've missed out on that.
With like festivals and stuff, but like the one on the coast, I think, or not on the coast. Oh yeah, the one on the coast. Where's in the entrance? What's that called again? Rolling Sets. That's like mainly like band based stuff. Like they do have some DJs. They got like their own little DJ thing, but like there's a lot of festivals just have mainly bands and like a couple of DJs. In Australia, I've noticed.
Yeah.
America is hectic. Like they've got sick, massive events that have DJs. Like it's crazy. But I think Australia needs to like push electronic music a bit more, if you know what I mean.
I feel like
good on them.
sure.
Bands are sick.
Bands are good for the start of the day, I reckon.
Yeah, they're like sick. Do what you love, but like electronic
like
music.
in between.
We need another
electronic music,
Metallica. We need another Metallica. We need some huge band to come in.
Yeah.
And I think we have a lot of like
Limp Bizkit, bring him in.
No,
yeah,
well,
I'm gonna.
Blakey,
we're seeing him on the 29th.
Yeah, so I want to go to that.
Yeah, I might see that.
There was an event
that'd
on
be sick, bro.
recently, Blake. It was Korn, Blink-182. It was
Yeah, but they're all old.
yeah,
We need a new one.
yeah. But what I've realized too is like
Good, eh?
people like
know,
so many
energy.
simps want music they've already heard a million times.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like so many people don't want to experiment musically anymore. You know,
Yeah,
they just was like, I want to hear Guns N' Roses, you know? And then that's when you see like people packing out like 200,000 people arenas, because everyone just, you know, like U2 and stuff, you know? It's weird because like all these artists are coming back in now, and it's like, who listened to this for for ages? But like, what's funny is like I listen to that shit when I'm driving, you know? So it's like, true, I'd go to Blink-182, fuck yeah.
For sure. But like what I want to get into is like mixing the genres. So mixing house or like dubstep with me. Do you know Phase One?
Yes, I do, yeah.
He's a legend, and he does like heavy metal and dubstep combined, and it's so sick. Like genre bending, genre bending. Genre bending is sick. Like I rate that. Even with house, you can like add like
House and rap.
band
House
elements.
and rap go fucking.
Yeah, house rap. You can even like try add a band to it. I've got a mate in Sydney. He's just done psytrance and dubstep together, which is like crazy. And then it just it's cooked. But like genre bending is sick, man. Like if you can create something completely brand new, like that's awesome. And it's hard to do because there's been so much like already created, like sounds already created and like genres and stuff. That how many genres are there? Like
If you're talking about subgenres as well.
just every genre.
Infinite.
There's so many. But like and then think how many have been created. Like it's hard to make something extremely new.
Yeah.
And like I've been trying to
the
do
pioneer.
that, and it's
Be the pioneers.
That's what I mean. It's like, don't listen to the other shit.
yeah, no, that's exactly like me as well, bro. Like I
do your own thing.
I don't listen to mainstream. I used to like Excision and stuff. That's like the mainstream I listen to. But I always listen to like new underground artists that have created something real cooked, like experimental bass. I really love the experimental bass. You know, Hamdy, Liney.
Well, that's why I love. Do you remember Cone Sound or Coan Sound or whatever it was?
Sound.
Bro,
do, yeah.
their stuff was just like
tutorials.
Neurofunk.
Oh,
bro,
yep.
What? Like,
Yeah,
you know, and that was 10 years ago, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you're hearing people like, oh, made this new genre, you know, on TikTok. Like, listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, jazz dubstep. And I was like, dude,
That's not.
they were making that years ago, cuz.
Yeah.
I reckon with the Ableton, with the platforms that we can use, we can do anything. All right,
Yeah.
even like the band music, it's all mixed with an engineer and stuff like that. It's a open blank canvas, and it's the tools that you can use. So I think it relies on the people, man.
Yeah.
Like simply, does X person have enough drive to really do something and write something new and creative?
Yeah.
Does X person have enough funds or have enough contacts to get a band together and try and do something special?
Yeah,
And it's just that dedication that'll get you there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we're waiting for those sort of, you know, that next round of legacy artists to come through.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be a dream of mine, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess it's a perfect time too now. You know, we've got a fresh slate now. You know, we've got new promoters, new events.
Yeah.
You know, we've got buildings going up now and stuff like that. It's a perfect time, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, for me, it's just write the music.
Yeah.
Just get the music done. I mean, it burns you out
100%.
after 13 years.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got to try new techniques, new
Yeah.
tactics to write music.
Yeah.
You know, like some people rely on drugs or alcohol or weed
Yeah.
to write it, but that's not going to last.
It's always
you know?
short term, bro.
You might end up in the
definitely.
27 club or whatever. Touch wood.
Story of my life, bro.
But you know, you just got to stay dedicated.
Yeah.
I guess you gotta own it too, eh?
Yeah.
You really gotta own it these days because there's so many fake people like you know
Yeah.
trying to pretend that they're into something, but it's just you
Yeah,
know, it's
100%,
You know
bro.
what they're into it for. I've
Yeah.
had a few people admit to me why they're in the music industry. I'm like, dude, why would you even say that to me?
What did they say? Like it was like
I'm here for the pussy and the money. Like I'm like,
so
I get it, but come on, bro.
Yeah, music
you know, like,
isn't
you're not even a
about that,
producer,
bro.
bro. Like, come
yeah,
on,
that's
like,
it.
It's like the PT, you know, the PT and the wife. You gotta stay away from that.
What are you watching on Brazzers, lad?
No, it's a known thing. If I marry a girl,
I've heard about what you've done during the sets, mate.
PT, the best time of my life training. Anyway,
No, but that is shit, man. Like like I said before, there's so many people getting into this industry for the wrong reasons, like you said before.
Absolutely,
Just so many,
especially with the
though.
TikTok gen, man.
Yeah, like so many,
The power
bro.
to them, bros. You know,
Yeah.
but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting time.
Yeah, but then the people that actually are trying to do it and love the music, like us in this room, like it like makes it a little bit more of a struggle. All these people that are coming doing it for the wrong reasons, it's very, very annoying.
I'm here for the wrong reasons.
yeah. Look, you just got to get past it.
Yeah.
And you just got to be proud of what you do.
Yeah,
And if you
100%.
make it, it's a dream.
Yeah.
And it's a dream come true.
Yeah.
But if not, then
Yeah,
you gave it a
I'll
shot.
still keep doing it even if I don't make it. Like fully.
Yeah, it's just,
I'll keep going.
It's just about the fun of it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
as simple as that.
yeah,
And,
it's a hobby,
yeah.
hobby kind of thing.
Because otherwise you're just going to get bitter. And
Yeah.
I used to be bitter about it. I'm like, oh, this DJ's playing this set that I really want to play. and
Yeah.
I could be better than that.
Yeah,
But,
so that
you
gets
know,
me. Like I think that's another thing with
don't do that, guys.
With the music industry is how do I say this? Like mental health kind of thing. Like you see, like you said, someone playing a set that you want to play, and you're at home by yourself. It's like it makes you feel crap. And like even with like making music, you get to a point like say you've done it 8 hours and you're just sitting there like, oh crap, what have I done? Like this is shit and all that stuff. Like it's a bit worrying. With like you need to talk to people about like this stuff in the music industry as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a bit of a rough subject, but some people like go down the wrong path kind of thing when it like how do I explain it? I don't know how to explain
like
it. You know what I'm saying? But
it's comparative thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're seeing highlights. You're not seeing the lowlights,
Yeah,
and you're constantly bombarding yourself with gratification and dopamine. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and then when you come out of that, you know, scrolling TikTok for 8 hours or whatever, you then hit that depression stage where you've like juiced your dopamine out, and then you're like, oh, what am I doing with my life? What do I do? Then you make bad decisions, and you know, it's just one of those things, I guess. Like the biggest thing that helped me with like, for me, I look at it as like getting jaded at the music industry because like I've been producing since 2006.
Yep.
So, I don't even know how many years that is now. It's a long time ago.
Over
56
20 now.
kilobytes a second dial-up, brah.
17 years.
Yeah, so
right.
like, so you can only imagine like me watching videos of different artists and stuff. Like, why am I not there? You know, what am I doing there? But then it wasn't until like there was a month where I just pretty much just switched my Facebook off, deleted Instagram, deleted Snapchat, deleted everything, just lived my life. And just that even 1 month of just clarification and not looking at other people and what they're doing. The amount of drive that I had to actually do shit and succeed was just, it's just paramount, you know. But then you've always got to come back to it, and then, you know, you've got to promote yourself, you've got to market yourself, you've constantly got to be in touch with people, you constantly got to promote yourself, you know. So you got to find that balance, man.
Exercise in the morning. Train in the morning. Like find a routine.
Absolutely.
Get healthy. That's really important. I reckon like the body leads everything. So,
Healthy body, healthy mind.
Just be there for yourself as well. But like obviously it's good to talk to people, but you make sure you're there for yourself. Even in life in general, like in the music industry, just make sure you're loving what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Number
one.
Pretty spiritual right now.
I think that's a good note to touch on for sure.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like it's you're the one getting into it. Like, do you love it? Make sure you love it. You know what I mean? Like, like don't get into it for the wrong reasons. We already talked about that, but
the hard part, I'll just add a little bit more onto that. It's like when you're trying to crack it, you're trying to make that dream come true. You know, you got your mates on the side who are working salary jobs. You're starting to get mortgages, starting to get married. And then you're here sitting there making music at 27. You know, living at home with your folks and whatnot. And it's like, you know, this is the push and pull. But if you're gonna make that dream, like every famous artist says it, it's like you're gonna hit the lows. Hundreds of times.
Definitely.
And it's just how you bounce back off that.
100%.
And like what I've noticed is that when you're at that low point, you're at rock bottom, it can't go anywhere but above. So
100%.
Just know that it'll bounce back. And my advice is just stay healthy. Go train, have a routine.
It's like a washing machine. Basically, how I look at it. You go
clean
in,
the lint out, bro.
You go in dirty and shit. Like as shit happens to you, you go in and then you come out the other end nice and clean and fresh. You know what I mean?
Then you fucking go back in again.
That's poetry, brother.
You know what I mean? But it's kind of like that, eh? It's cool. Like 100%. That's the way I look at it, anyway. One last note: how do you sign your music to labels? I was very curious about. I was reading this before because I've got my own music, but I don't know how to like send it to people, like send it to labels and stuff. I don't get it. Like, do I send it to an email or like?
Well, I guess like you can approach it in multiple different ways. I found that like emailing labels just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And you got one person sitting on the end of that email. They're probably getting 10,000 emails a week. They're probably going to go through 10 of them. The best 10 that they've listened to out of like 40 maybe. And then they're going to be the ones that they bring to the crew and whatever. And then one of them might get chosen out of the 10. So the amount of people that will never get a response from that, you know, you get disheartened because you're like, holy shit, is my stuff terrible? Is it good enough? Is it not good enough? But labels don't have the time to like sometimes like give you feedback on like, you know, why aren't we signing or whatever. So you get disheartened. But I think a good thing is find artists to associate with, find artists who like your sound and stuff like that, and you know, build friendships with them. This is what I've done anyway. Build friendships and associations with them if you can. And then you can always pass them your tracks on, and they're usually connected with the higher ups in those certain labels and groups and stuff like that. And you can say, look, I'd really appreciate it if you could send this over to this dude, whatever. You know, it's up to their discretion whether they help you out or not. But generally, people you want to help and be helped and all that kind of stuff. But it's really hard, man. It really is one of the hardest things. And then especially if you do get in contact with the label, do they want it? Do they not want it? Why don't they want it? Are you doing what they want?
Yeah, you finally get in contact with one of them, and then they're like, oh, like you said before, it's good, but we're not what we're looking for, like that. Yeah.
But then I guess when it comes to that as well, I've written down here like you know, persist in what you do, understand how the music business works, understand how marketing, promotion and association and all that stuff works, and really work to like, I used to spend no time like on the marketing side. So I used to do all my gigs. I never get footage, never get recordings, never do any of that stuff. But I realized that that's the most important stuff now, you know? Like,
definitely.
Because how is anyone ever going to know what you're playing, what you're doing, if there's no evidence of what you've done, you know? So like getting to that stage now is, you know, I've realized that actually influences labels signing you and reaching out to you and asking you for demos and stuff like that. And so it's a tough game these days, you know. They say it's like 50,000 songs a day on Spotify get uploaded. So you're up against 50,000.
So crazy, isn't it? Like,
so when you think about it like that, think about how many songs are going to these labels and stuff every day. You know, it's crazy. It really is crazy.
Need a big A&R team, those labels.
Yeah.
But look, man, just email them. But
it's the only way you can get in contact with them.
Just email, but get a good catalogue of music. You know, don't just email them one song. Email 10.
A really good
demos
one
and stuff. Yeah,
a really good one that I've actually found lately is connecting with people on LinkedIn. So it's like a little subconscious thing. Like, so hitting up like the A&R of something, connect with them on LinkedIn. If they accept, you know, then you can either, you know, you can be annoying and message them or whatever, or you can just let that be the seed planted. And then if you ever go to an event or something like that where they're there and whatever, like, oh, hey, I added you on LinkedIn or whatever, like I've seen what you do, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, it's a little bit of a sneaky like seed planting thing. And I feel like seed planting is pretty good as well, you know, just that's what I did a little bit with like Heldens and Tchami and stuff. And those guys basically brought my career to where it is now. You know?
That's sick.
And that it's just such an interesting way to think about it, because all you want to do is get a track signed. But there's like a million different things that you got to do. To get that confidence behind it, you know. I also wrote down here as a little point is this is what Blake does really well. Create a brand that utilizes a medium to connect with people. So, for example, like Blake and drifting and cars and Tokyo.
Do that well. It's like one photo now.
I think he does. You know, especially with his promotional material and stuff like that. And that's what labels like. They like that originality in branding.
For sure.
And they like for you to have like something that they might necessarily like about you too. Like I think Anjuna likes your branding and your style and the combination of all those things together, you know. So there's a lot to sort of think about when it comes to that, man.
Have consistency, people. But first and foremost, in the sound, in what you're doing, have consistency. And social media, it's a plus if you're posting something consistent. But you know, I always bring it back to the music. It's like we're artists here or DJs, and it's like, what can you bring to the table? What can you bring?
What's your brand? Like with the drifting thing? Like,
it started off with cars. It was like driving music. Like I call it music, something you could drive to. Then it like sort of went to like boxing music with the brakes and stuff. Music you can box to. And then now it's just like, I don't know, I'd call my sound like breakbeat. 125, slow breakbeat.
Breakbeat's epic.
The thing about the slower BPMs is you can fit a little bit more of the sonic goodness into the beat. So when you're playing with 140 stuff, it's quite hard to put a bass line in. You know, drum and bass, of course, because it's half time. You can do a lot. But when you start to push that 4/4, like kick pretty hard, it's quite hard to fit like all those elements in. There's not much room.
You should got to do a punchy stuff like dubstep, just bah, bah, you know what I mean?
It's just a kick, right? There's no room for a bass line. You know, so mine's a bit slower. Always has been.
For sure.
But yeah, consistency in music is key. I mean, like that's what's going to separate you from the ordinary, and that's what's going to get the fans loving you.
I guess the consistency, just to finish up, like the consistency does matter a lot too, because labels want someone who is consistent, you know, because they most likely want to work with you for a longer period of time. So like, that consistency is very important too, because if you're just bouncing, you're just genre bouncing, whatever, how is any label going to know if they're going to invest in you? You know, most labels invest a lot of money into it, you know? So how are they going to guarantee that there's going to be a return on investment? You know, it's business. Business is business, you know, and then who's this guy that just goes from like country music to like liquid drum and bass to like, I don't know, like 160 BPM techno. Like the label will be like,
confused.
What are we going to do? You know, like this guy's releasing now a Moombaton track. Like what? Like, why?
It comes out of nowhere,
But it all comes like so closely together. Like, so it's definitely, that's a big point actually.
For sure.
You know?
Just finishing up. We're coming up on time. I think we've been talking for a good hour and a half, if not more now.
Jesus.
It's time goes fast.
I
just want to, 100%. It was awesome having you guys on. I just wanted to finish up with, do you guys have anything coming up that you want to tell people about that might be listening? Plug yourself, anything like that.
Next week,
or anything?
Next week, Carousel.
Carousel.
In Sydney. It's a new club in Oxford Street.
Right.
400 people. I'll be playing there.
Fuck yeah.
1:30 till 3. It's going to be a late one. Lots of music coming out
Graveyard
later.
shift. That's the best shift, bro.
Man, I think that club like opens at 10. So none of my friends are going to come through, I don't think, unless they're really like single or something. But So that gig coming up, check it out. Check out Anjunadeep, rocking the tee right here.
I checked out some of their music the other day. Actually, it's sick.
They're a great label. Lots of big stuff coming in February.
Yep.
I hate people that say, new stuff coming around the corner. You hear it so many bloody times. But, video game EP just came out. So I remixed
I saw that.
the GoldenEye, the Super Mario track, Super Nintendo track. Super Metroid. Some of my favorite games. So that comes out on Spotify on the 24th too.
24th.
So a bit of a launch party going on there. And then we got Europe next year. So big things ahead as the
for sure.
Watch this space.
Big things.
Yeah, watch this space, mate.
What about you, Tommy boy?
On the 24th, if you want to meet Tommy B, I'll be at Blake's event.
You can Are you that single?
I am now, bro. So my next gig is on 9th of December at Newcastle King Street, and that's going to be a lit one. That club is always good. So expecting a good turnout there. Hopefully no punch-ons in the Macca's car park afterwards, which is telltale to exactly every single time I play there. I'm Tom Budin as well. You can find me soundcloud.com/Tom Budin Music. Everything's basically just /Tom Budin, so you'll find it. You can Google it as well. And I'm planning a lot of stuff for next year. So there's a lot of stuff I'm keeping under wraps that I'm hoping to bring to the table next year. So should be really good.
Legend.
Blake.08 and Tom Budin.
Blake.08. What are we calling this? What's the podcast name?
I was thinking something along the lines of backstage talks or something. Something along with being behind the scenes.
Behind the music. Behind the tunes, bro.
Yeah. I'm
behind the
not sure.
tunes. That's behind the track.
Behind the beats.
We'll figure it out once it goes up. But thank you very much for coming on, boys. It was a pleasure. Keen to hear your sets. If you want to check out the sets, we will link them somewhere on the podcast or wherever it's posted. So keen to see what these boys bring out in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, boys.
Let's go. Thank you for having us on. Wait, other way around. Sorry, boys.
Have you introduced yourself yet?
You might.
Have you guys introduced yourself?
I don't really care about my stuff.
My Minotaur. That's my DJ name now. Minotaur. I'd make dubstep. Yeah.
Hectic.
He's a king. He's a king.
How do you even spell that, bros?
Minotaur. So Minotaur. There you go. Yeah. It's like, the great half man, half bull.
Minotaur?
Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Minotaur. Yeah, Minotaur.
That's when
there you go. That's like verification. You're like,
I'm making some new stuff. I've got a 2024 showcase out now. I released it yesterday. Some really heavy stuff, some drum and bass, but
Chris, I guess obviously don't want to plug yourself too much, but let the guys know what you do and
all I care about is this podcast and the live sets. So if you're listening to this, you already got what I want.
Yeah.
So
hopefully we're all good guys. This is our first time doing a podcast.
Watch the sets, listen to the podcast. We'll have these boys back on in the future to see what they're doing in the new year. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Cheers.